The Seven Archangels Speak by Thomas Printz, copyright 1954. An address by Beloved Archangel Zadkiel. Angel of Invocation, pages 29-45. Beloved Zadkiel speaks. January 31, 1954. Hail, O thou great Sanat Kumara, standing as the great high priest of the order of Zadkiel, the magnificent first one. Blessed is your presence and blessed is the qualified power of invocation which, through mankind, has drawn your august presence. I bow before your magnificent light. Hail to thee, O Saint Germain, High Priest of the Order of Zadkiel, magnificent embodiment of mastery. Hail to thee, O sons and daughters of freedom, born to the royal purple, you who have come from the heart of the silence. You, who have embodied to bring again to the consciousness of the earth a remembrance of the powers of invocation through speech, through visualization, and through the many activities that shall be revealed from now on, for those who belong to this order of light. Beloved Raphael, brother of light, consecrate the energies of these life streams once more as it flows from the heart of the sun. Consecrate the emotional bodies of each of these children and let them be radiating centers for the virtues of God, for those cosmic qualities which raise, purify, redeem, and add to the light of the world. Consecrate these emotional bodies that they become, at all times, outposts of whatever ascended master presence desires to radiate through them to the masses. Consecrate, O Raphael, and the power of light the mental body of each one. Clarify that mental body and remove all concepts gathered through the centuries since first they stood upon my altars, guardian spirits, dedicated to setting life free. Into those mental bodies pour whatever conscious knowledge and understanding and inspiration is required to make them the master control of energy and the active guardian presence of life wherever they move. Consecrate the etheric body of each one. Revivify within it the glory, the mastery, the powers they had in the heart of the sun before the world was. Every etheric record less than that melt, by the power of the sacred fire within this room. Oh, consecrate then the flesh, consecrate these earthly garments, the tabernacles of these great spirits, these who came to set life free, these who have foregone the glory of the Ascension, who more than once in ages that have passed, have been offered their freedom by the karmic board, and who have chosen, like Sanat Kumara, to remain. Consecrate this flesh, O great and mighty ones. Beloved Chohan Hilarion. Consecrate the eyes and through them let the presence of God see in manifest perfection. Consecrate the ears that they may hear the voice of the Master and the still small voice of the Presence. Consecrate the lips that they may speak with the tongues of angels. Consecrate the brain that it may receive clear and direct the consciousness of the higher and holy Christ self. Consecrate their hands, O great powers, that they may be the healing, conducting powers of the presence of the ascended Jesus Christ. Consecrate their feet that every place they move upon the planet Earth their footprints may be a golden blazing fire of light, to inspire all mankind to greater accomplishment. Take their human forms, every cell and atom of them, and consecrate them to the service of God, great communion cups, chalices of living fire, in the great and cosmic surrender of self to service. I call for this, O powers of light, and I accept it done. O beloved Saint Germain, Chohan of the seventh ray. Place your mantle of authority now upon their shoulders once again. Clothe them round in freedom's flame. Beloved friends, it is a magnificent thing when unascended beings are so interested in the service and activities which engage the life energies of those of us who live to set life free. Such interest in the love of your hearts part the human veil sufficiently to open the door through the cosmic law to our giving our word and carrying our interest into the consciousness of mankind. It has been many ages since the archangels have been invited into the consciousness of the people, since even our names were spoken, and we are grateful in the extreme to have the opportunity, not only to address your own beloved hearts and presence, but to record in the substance and energy of your consciousness our activities. In this way, our consciousness may be a permanent record in your worlds and the ever-expanding interest of the mankind of Earth may be fed by a workable knowledge of our part in the universal scheme of things. It is a beautiful thing to have interest in one's service and work. Even in your outer world, you know how grateful and happy you are for interest and comradeship and cooperative service to perfect some portion of the divine plan, or even the human plan which is close to your hearts. How then do you think it has felt for us who, since the close of the Atlantean age, have stood patiently behind the veil of Maya, spun so energetically from the consciousness and feelings of mankind, until even our names and our purpose had fled entirely from the outer selves? We hoped one day that somewhere, somehow, some member of the human race might again raise the hand in friendship, raise the heart in love, and make the bridge from the human octave to the divine through the attention to our worlds, and to our humble endeavors to serve the progress and evolution of this race. Through your interest in us, this has been done. Coupling action with inspiration is a marvelous activity. The wealth of spiritual material that has been given to the planet Earth, not only since its inception, but since the falling of the veil of Maya, cannot be comprehended by the outer self, but the fact that the mankind of Earth did not incorporate that knowledge into workable laws to set the planet free is what has caused the race to be a full 5,000 years behind in its evolution. You will understand then the enthusiasm in our hearts, the love in our hearts, when you, applying the law, set into motion those causative centers that allow us the privilege and opportunity of speaking with you. The beloved Uriel, beloved Jophiel, the beloved Shemuel await like opportunity, and then, you will have as your gift to mankind, the release of the activity of the 7 archangels. Long after you are ascended and free, our words will be a text for those interested in cooperating with the angelic host. Do you see? It is interesting to watch the activities through the consciousness as one of us come and touch a particular facet of service or an activity which has not been familiar to your minds. It is magnificent to see you so alert, to seize upon that action of the law and incorporating it into song or decree, call forth that power and that service of that being who has not yet appeared upon the screen of life, visible in word and radiation. It has become a joyous and happy experience in our octave to be summoned by your calls, because those who have not yet been given the opportunity to speak to you are working through the beloved Serapis and the beings in the 4th sphere, to direct into the consciousness of the group directors and those engaged in the musical compositions, particularly words and music which will draw the beings who are waiting to come. As those songs then are interpreted and incorporated into your energy and group singing, these beings through the action of the cosmic law are given freedom to come and give the release of their radiation and instruction to you. Thus we are planting at every opportunity new seeds in the consciousness. When they are incorporated into the songs and then your vital energies send them forth, it is a magnetic power. On the return beam of that energy, you must have the release of the being's energy who has, for the most part, inspired that song. Do you see? Sometimes the human feels that he sets up the activity of the invitation, but now that we have gotten the action of the law by watching you, we are sending forth the primal impulse from our realm to sensitive life streams who can pick up our vibration and draw around them a group of individuals who can magnetize us. Then we can give our gifts of illumination to you and mankind at large. My service to life is in guarding the powers of invocation. I work on the 7th ray. In the course of the evolution of a soul, dear hearts, I speak now of the Earth evolution and the souls who were to use the planet Earth to develop mastery. The cosmic law planned to give each soul a 14,000-year cycle to develop. Every 2,000 years a different ganglionic center within the physical body and a spiritual center within the soul was to be nourished. As the cosmic wheel, with which you have become acquainted, made one complete revolution, at the end of the 14,000 years that soul would be a master presence. As the soul entered into the 7th cycle, at the close of a 14,000-year span, he would be a master presence, like Saint Germain, in the power of drawing energy, qualifying it, and sending it forth to create and sustain anything which his mind and heart desired to expand the glory of the kingdom. He would be born to the purple dot and quat. He would be a royal being upon whose head would rest the crown of mastery, wearing the purple robes of state and holding the scepter of dominion in his hand. Each 2,000 years, a mighty archangel and a great Chohan work to render the assistance to those souls and develop them to this perfected state. You see, then, how very far behind mankind is this cosmic wheel has turned so many times that there is not human count for its revolutions. My service has been and still is, at the end of each cycle when the 7th ray played upon the earth, to teach the developed souls how to draw and qualify the sacred fire and to become priests and priestesses of this order of Zadkiel, of which I speak. The 1st, 2nd and 3rd root races, as you know, did complete their cycles in the appointed time, and it was only after the laggards from the other systems came that the 4th root race and those that followed were slowed up considerably. The spiritual impetus of each cycle, as the great mighty wheel turned, was not sufficient to bring the buds to flower. Now you all know that in the realm of nature, if you plant bulbs or seeds, and in the course of the radiation of the seasons prior to harvest they do not show any life within a year or so, that bulb or seed is discarded in favor of a new potential. You will see then the mercy of the cosmic law that has allowed souls who have shown no apparent spiritual light, no shoots of merit, to remain a part of the evolution of the earth, and yet it continues to bestow the spiritual stimulus season after season. These 2,000-year cycles are the spiritual seasons, and it takes one complete revolution of the wheel with the exposure of the soul for 2,000 years, under each radiation, to bring a new soul to full mastery. Cycle after cycle has passed, revolution after revolution of the wheel has taken place, yet the bloom which mankind should have shown has not been manifest. Sanat Kumara has been the bloom, the flower, the perfume and the light for the entire race with few exceptions, namely those who have attained the victory of the Ascension. Now again we come to the close of one of those cycles, the minor and the major, and the seventh ray is to again play upon the planet Earth for approximately 2,000 years. The law has said it is the final cycle. It is the final warm spring sun that must draw life from the bulbs and the dormant seeds. It is to this end that we are all pouring the pressure of our light in flames, and the desire to secure from those of you who are stirring in your sleep, the assistance of your life streams also. It is also beautifully simple. It is so mathematically and scientifically accurate. There is nothing abstruse about it. Unfortunately, through the ages, spiritual truths have been so clothed in mysticism that mankind for the most part cannot understand them without an interpreter. Then, too, the interpreter very often colors the instruction with his own accumulation of mental effluvia. It is just the incubation of the soul and the radiation through the Elohim, the archangels, the chans, and those who work under them, which stimulates to life the various centers in the life stream. The Master Saint Germain, presently holding the office of Chohan of the seventh ray, is giving the assistance particularly to those who were masters of invocation in past lives. You who are guardian spirits have attained some maturity. You had already passed through the turning of the cosmic wheel on some other planet. Your souls were already exposed, we will say, to at least the 7 radiations prior to your advent upon the earth. Therefore, your older spirits and the spiritual and physical ganglionic centers within your bodies are more balanced and anchored in the powers of the sacred fire. However, you too can benefit by the outpouring of the 7 rays as their radiation flows to the earth and stimulates again the memory of your erstwhile glory, mastery, and powers. The powers of invocation have just barely been touched by the student body. It is a mercy it is so, because the drawing of the sacred fire and those powers require a balance in self-control and the energy of your inner worlds, lest you do more harm than good through ignorance and innocence, more than specific intent to disobey. Therefore, if you will please endeavor to take a moment now each day and consecrate the energies of your inner bodies and your physical form before you start your day's activities, it will help. Please remember how to consecrate your lives before you leave your rooms. Consecrate those blessed hands and fingers, consecrate your lips and use them not so freely in the passing pleasure of the daily gossip. Conserve those energies so that when some great being or power may desire to use them, you may have something to offer that is of merit. Consecrate your lives, beloved ones, and move forward now about your Father's business. We are in the last days. We are in the last great opportunity to set mankind and all life free. In the early ages before mankind lost the connection with the Godhead, the amethyst was worn only by the priests and priestesses of the order of Zadkiel, those who had qualified to invoke and magnetize the powers of the sacred fire for the good of the people. No being in those golden ages, on Atlantis, on Lemuria, would have presumed to wear or use the amethyst unless he belonged to the order of Zadkiel. Through the later days, the sacredness, the reverence, the mystic meaning behind the jewels and the other talismans of the sacred fire have lost their inner and outer significance. The ceremonial ray is that ray which enables the individual life stream to change the quality of energy in himself or any part of life, human, animal, elemental or devic, at will. The Master Jesus was, of course, a priest of this order. He not only changed the quality of energy in sickness into health, of seeming death into life, but he worked in the elemental kingdom, and changed the quality of energy in the sea from roughness and distress to peace and harmony. The activity of changing the quality of energy is scientific and mathematical. You can experiment with it, for your opportunities are many in your daily endeavors. Either you are the master of energy or energy is the master of you. Mankind, in the present day, are prey to the qualified foci of discordantly qualified energy, invisible and visible. But you who are and have been under the radiation of Saint Germain for years should be ashamed to be a victim of misqualified energy at this point on the path. Take away from your mental body a consciousness of tension and of strain. Realize that the qualification of energy is a natural power within your heart. Practice on your own subtle feelings. Practice on your own reactions to life and keep in the silence that which you are doing. It can be such a pleasurable experience to feel the change within the energy of your own feeling world and the happiness that comes as you qualify that energy harmoniously, when it has chosen, because it has been so long your master, to distress you. You are the intelligence. You are the God power that drew that energy from the sun. Nobody asked you to do it. You volunteered to come into being and draw that pure primal energy from the sun, which anchored within your beating heart. That energy responded to your call and became your servant in that response. The fact that you have a beating heart is proof to the logical that energy has responded to your will. You have will to be here, and energy and life. In answer to that response, beats your heart. Now why, when energy coming from the sun responds to your will, should it, immediately when it gets into your world, turn around and be the master of you? It is ridiculous on the face of it. Think it through. The energy that came from the heart of God, pure and perfect, has come in response to your will to incarnate and to fulfill some portion of God's plan. Now let us refuse to allow that energy, when it has come through the open door of our beings into the world of form, to return then and become master over our peace, over our harmony, over our supply, over our service to mankind. It is so simple. Think where the angelic host would be if energy were their master. We are the embodiment of qualified energy which we hold in a radiation of peace, of harmony, of healing, of purity, of beauty, and what we have done you may do. We are willing to give you our full gathered cosmic momentum of this. Thus, you build a quality of constructive energy around you, and after you have experimented with your own energy, then you can master the energy in the people you contact and in the life which comes to you, in the course of a day, for redemption and purification. You know, the life within an unkind word comes to you to be redeemed and set free. The life within an unkind look or gesture comes to you, a priest or priestess of the order of Zadkiel, that you might bless it free. Let us not personalize energy. That which comes into the compass of your daily thoughts and experience, do not rebel against it or feel unjustly treated if circumstance is such that energy qualified with discord comes within the compass of your aura. It comes because there are few foci in this unascended octave that know how to redeem it, to raise it, to purify it, to set it free. Do you see? Where there is a focus of the sacred fire, where there is a life stream who has a knowledge of the violet flame, there that energy has an opportunity of being redeemed and returned to the universal first cause. Oh, what a joy to move in the universe freeing energy, loving it free, and standing in the serene mastery of your own godhood. God bless you, beloved ones. It is magnificent to see your interest, and it is magnificent to see your application. It shall be magnificent to the men and women of this earth to see how the victory through this application will raise the attention of mankind, and they, too, will want to learn how to master energy, to change its qualification, and through it to know God freedom. May the blessings of Sanat Kumara, may the blessings of the beloved Saint Germain, the blessings of the beloved Lord Michael and all my brothers in our kingdom be upon you. I thank you, and good day.